Hey guys, never stop doing it today, and we are going to be breaking down the brand new LF Fusion Zamasu and the Saprking Android 17 kits. Now, they didn't actually fully release Android 17 kit, so I thought we might as well take a look at what they released during the actual Legends information, and they gave us a decent amount to gather from here. So he's a purple range type unit. He's got his normal tags alongside powerful opponent, which is nice. He buffs Android, Future, and powerful opponent with his Z ability. His next thing, so applies the following effects to self if Android 18 is alongside him as a battle member. Similar to the actual Android 18, she wants to be paired with the Android 17, so it kind of makes sense that they both just are ridiculous together. So plus 30% to damage inflicted, really nice, and nullifies endurance. So they both will just be nullifying endurance together. That is actually really scary, and that actually kind of reminds me of the LF tag Android, where they just nullify endurance in general as well. So if they get a Zenkai next week, that could be a pretty terrible trio right there. Like, just no endurance and great synergy. So that'll be interesting to see if they do that. Maybe even a unique equip, who knows. But yeah, definitely want to see something along those lines soon. Okay, next part. So he has the ultimate arts as well. On activation, plus 20% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 time accounts, plus 50% to damage inflicted by allies. So that seems like it's permanent. On actually landing it, draw a special arts card next. Shortens allies sub count by 3 and destroys all of your enemies' cards. So very good, very annoying if you actually land it off on your opponent. So yeah, not bad for that. Okay, the special move randomly destroys, no, not special move, the special arts randomly destroys one of your own cards and draws the ultimate arts card Demolition Hyper Burster next. Activates once. I don't know why it destroys a card when I would have just thought the green card would have drawn that, but I guess the green card gives you a card and then it destroys it. It's weird. I'll need to see how that actually works, but yeah, it gives you another ultimate to use, so he can use 2 ultimates, which is pretty nice. Restores own health by 50% and ki by 40. Cancels own attribute downgrades and inflicts all enemies with 2 subcounts, which depending on the team you're up against, that could be pretty vital, because you can potentially get them before they could have swapped. So that's pretty nice. Okay, then onto the unique abilities. So he can defend against attacks used after auto counters, which 100% this is against Ultra Vegeta. They knew a purple unit is just gonna be food for Ultra Vegeta, especially as it's a 1% bucket, so they had to give him something like this. So applies the following effects to self when enemy activates an auto counter or evade action while this character is on the battlefield. Restores health by 30%, reduces impact damage by 15% for 3 time accounts, and goes type neutral for 5 time accounts, which is really good. He should be tanking pretty nicely. I would imagine they would give him quite a lot of defense to kind of help in that department, because if I see him at 6 stars getting absolutely annihilated at type neutral, that's not gonna be fun. One good thing though is that's only if he's on the battlefield. This one here, the following effects occur when enemy activate an auto counter or evade action while this character is not defeated. This means he doesn't have to be on the battlefield. So plus 20% to own health restoration, activates once and can't be cancelled, and seals enemy special move arts. This happens twice, and the sealed arts cannot be used for 3 time accounts, which means essentially if Ultra Vegeta pops his Gorge against one of your teammates and Android 17 is still alive on your team but not on the battlefield, they won't be able to get the special move off with Ultra Vegeta, which is fantastic in my opinion. A great way to try to calm him down. But yeah, that's all they had for him, so we're gonna move on to Zamasu. Okay then, so here's what we all pretty much wanted to take a look at. So Fusion Zamasu features. So the first one, unique Gorge that changes type. This, when I saw this was very interesting, because it kind of showed the first unit to have like multiple gorgeous that didn't like transform, revive, or anything like that. It's just standalone unit that has multiple gorges. So the unique gorge will change to attack type when you use a strike or blast arts, and it will change to sustain damage type when you're hit by an enemy's arts attack. Power up your offense or defense depending on the type. That seems really cool in my opinion. Powerful recovery for the second one. Recover up to 30% after damage received and draw special arts when the enemy's attack is over. When your unique gorge is sustained damage type, that special art you drew can be used to restore an additional 20% health. You'll also recover health when the unique gorge is consumed, so this character can really stay in the fight. So yeah, lots of way to recover, which is always nice. Main ability that inflicts debuff, so increase the damage taken by all enemies and reduce their health restoration by a whopping 80%. You'll even reduce their card draw speed by 2 levels. That's interesting. Many ways to inflict abnormal conditions. So special move arts have a chance to inflict paralyze. The ultimate arts inflicts extreme bleed and even damages enemies on standby. Okay, paralysis is a bit more dangerous. I gotta say that's gonna be how, because they just gave the Ultra Goku Black his platinum equip, which makes it so that if you run these two together, which will be fantastic, paralysis just through special moves is gonna be hell. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting time to say the least. Okay, past Divine Judgment with Legend Limited Fusion Zamasu. So he's a red melee type. Character tagged, at least I think he was a melee type. I've already forgotten. But yeah, I think he's a red melee type. Future, regen, all these crazy tags. See, like Zamasu is on so many insane tags. God Key, Fusion Warrior, Powerful Opponent, Future, regen could potentially be insane, but they just don't get enough support. But yeah, really good tags right there. His Z ability will go straight to the end one, so he buffs Future, Powerful Opponent, God Key, Strike Attack and Defense, and 80% to Future Blast Defense. So he has Blast Armor on his strikes. He has just normal Blast. His special move, okay, deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects to self upon activation, plus 30% to special move, damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, and minus 20% to enemy sustained damage effects for 15 timer counts. The following effects occur on hit, so shortens allies sub count by 3 and 40% chance to inflict paralyze. That is a decent amount. That's close to 50%, so once every 2 blue cards you're kind of likely to get that off. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay, the green card. So randomly draws 1 new card, restores own health by 10% and key by 50, plus 50% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So if the unique gorge is sustained damage, restores own health by 10%, cancels attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions, reduces enemies Dragon Ball by 1, activates 3 times. That is ridiculous. Seals enemies special move and special arts. The sealed arts cannot be used for 5 timer counts. 5 timer counts is a good enough time for you to make an impact. Okay, if the unique gorge is attack type, randomly draws 1 new card, and when you have fewer cards, so randomly draws 1 new card when you have fewer cards. Restores Vanishing Gorge 3 times. Wow. Okay, plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So yeah, that either way, these are ridiculous to get off with the green. So you just want to use as many greens as you can, really. Okay, then onto the ultimate. So applies massive explode damage. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. So plus 50% to ultimate damage, plus 50% to critical rate for 10 timer counts. Interesting. So nullifies endurance. The following effects occur on hit, so it does AoE damage. You can't defeat your enemies, which makes sense. Destroys all of your enemies' cards. 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed and has blast armor. Okay, this I don't think had. Wait, yeah, this doesn't have blast armor, so that's making me think it's a long range attack. From the actual thing, I think we know what that is. So yeah, that's just to confirm that is. Okay, main ability draws the ultimate arts card Blades of Judgment next. Restores own health by 30% and ki by 50. Charges own unique ward by 100%. Cancels attribute downgrades under normal conditions. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrades plus 15% to damage received for 20 timer cards. -2 card draw speed for 20 timer cards. -80% to health restoration for 20 timer cards. And it's after 25 timer cards like usual. Okay, then the first unique ability, let's get straight into it. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. So 170% to damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 70% plus 50% to ki recovery, card draw speed, 50% to unique gorge charge rate. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. So restores ki by 30 plus 60% to damage inflicted, so that's already over 200%, 230% in total. Plus 20% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer cards. So his strike damage for that extra 15 timer cards will be 250%. Reduces impact, explode, and slice damage received by 50% for 10 timer cards. That could be a good amount if you're cover changing. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, -50% to strike, blast, and special move arts power for 10 timer cards. Interesting. So special move arts power and everything. Okay, that seems like it will make a good enough impact when he wants to tank, especially if he's in the defensive gorge mode, so he could be pretty ridiculous in that mode. Okay, the following effects occur every time this character uses a strike or blast arts card. So enemy draws one new card when you have your fewer, activates once, resets after character switch, makes sense. Restores own ki by 10 plus 50% to damage inflicted for 50 timer cards. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 50% to damage received and -10% to health restoration for 50 timer cards for both. Shortens allies sub count by 5 when enemy activates an ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush while this character is on the battlefield. So you gotta make sure not to get confused by thinking this is 10. I know a lot of people think, oh, I could just swap out if they do it. If you're at 6 or higher, you're not going to be able to, so make sure you know it's only 5 timer counts. Applies the following effects to self if only unique or just sustained damage type when this character uses a strike, blast, special move, or ultimate arts card. So switches unique gorge from sustained damage type to attack type. Applies buff effects, nullifies enemy special cover change essentially for 5 timer counts. And then I guess this is vice versa. Applies the following effects to self if only unique gorge is attack type when hit by an enemy arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Switches unique gorge from attack type to sustained damage type. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 10 timer counts. Interesting. So he can get cover null through attacking after swapping, and then goes type neutral when going defensive. Okay, that sounds like a very smart decision from them. Okay, then the second one, so he cover changes against strikes. He goes into the special move. The following effects occur when changing cover, so reduces enemy ki by 20 and then inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, -30% to ki recovery, plus 10 to all arts cost for 10 timer counts. Man, the arts cost is just ridiculous nowadays with Vegito, Blue, with Gohan, a lot of other characters that just are a nuisance as well. Like, yeah, it's not fun having all these arts costs because your hand, I've had times where my whole hand just cost 99 and I was just like, okay, if I use a card, I can't use anything and I have to wait to get keys, so there was just no point using it. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over, so draw a special art card next, twice. Restores 30% of damage received up to 30% of own health, plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Okay, so onto the unique gorges. So if unique gorge is sustained damage type, unique gorge will be sustained damage type when battle starts. So he starts off with that, and then when you attack, it'll probably swap. So charges only unique gorge every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Once the unique gorge is full, it resets to 0, and the following effect occur when hit by an enemy's arts attack. So restores own health by 15% plus 20% to damage inflicted, and that stays permanent. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, reduces enemy ki by 50, seals rising rush for 5 timer counts, and seals main abilities for 5 timer counts. Okay, so that's pretty good once it resets. And the fact that it resets, you can fill it up again, it'll reset, fill it up. So depending on how fast this gorge sustained damage type fills, it can be pretty annoying for your opponents to just try and do the infinite combos that they can do, because they'll just keep on destroying cards, reducing key, sailing main, rushes, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that could be pretty good. Okay then, so if the unique gorge is attack type, charges only unique gorge every time this character uses an arts card while they are on the battlefield. Once the unique gorge is full, resets to 0 once again and applies the following effects to itself when this character uses an arts card. So randomly draws 1 new card, restores health by 10% and key by 30 plus 20% to damage inflicted. So that's 2 ways he could get 40% damage inflicted permanently if he gets those 2 done. Increases card draw speed for 5 time accounts, and then applies the following effect, so he nullifies cover change for 5 time accounts. So yeah, he seems pretty darn good. We will have to see how he actually performs. We'll have to see how much attack and everything he actually has with this kit. But yeah, I am excited for him. He seems like he can do quite a lot. So let me know if you're something for him. Let me know if you're excited for him. Let me know if you're gonna go absolutely crazy on this banner, because I know I want him. I know a lot of people have wanted the Legends Limited Fusion Zamasu, and I know quite a few people will go very deep on this banner. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. I see more in the future. Subscribe. See you on the next one. Goodbye.